handful of presenters, a massive microphones, and a whole load of talk. This is TigerTails Radio.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TigerTails Radio Season 8. Season 8, episode 31.
I forgot to remind you.
You did, but I remembered anyway, so that's cool.
He says remembered.
Yeah, if you look on the YouTube feed, you will see that it says the right thing.
Hang on, let me refresh. Oh no, there we go.
Nope, I have both feeds in front of me, and it does in fact say.
I currently have Felis's face towering over a wolf.
Yeah, I'm a wolf again.
This is what happens.
This is what happens.
TK, he can be whatever he wants to be, and he turns CG on us.
That's not the right kind of music.
Sorry, TK, I'm just going to reach behind you for a moment.
Yeah?
Sorry, this tickles. I'm just pulling my things out of you.
You were? I've had worse days.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, when the PSP went, no, I'm going to fucking die on you, even though I'm fully charged.
Do I need to start bringing my Vita? Wait, why are you using
Yes, we said that last time.
I'm using your PSP.
Yeah, my PSP. Wait, my PSP is the one that's misbehaving now?
No, mine's misbehaving.
Oh, that's okay then. Phew.
No need to change
That's
this
worried for a
cockhouse
second there.
settings. Yeah, stop whining, face rig. I'll be with you in a minute.
Oh, gotta love it when the show starts so seamlessly.
Oh, fuck off. There we go. I'll just keep it plugged into the mains forever. Now let's just reset face rig so it's happy with me.
Oh,
And there we go.
As soon as it said happy with me, it just did this whole mouth
It was like
thing.
pissed off. So yes, welcome to a slightly, well, we're allowed to break everything. It's the first 20 minutes. A slightly delayed start to episode 31 of TigerTails Radio Season 8. I am TK, and I am today a wolf, if you're watching the YouTube feed, because raisins.
Raisins?
There. The chocolate chew. And we also have a Felis in the studio.
Hello.
And breaming all the way, phoning it in, we have the Xavier.
Hello.
Hello, disembodied voice.
Hello.
How are you?
I am fine. You could have mentioned I was breathing heavily over the mic before then, but never mind.
I just thought we were all doing characters from Malcolm in the Middle today.
What?
Yes, massive kid.
Huh?
Am I the only one that watched Malcolm in the Middle?
I'm going to say yes.
I've watched it, but I still don't get the reference.
Malcolm's best friend, the kid in the wheelchair?
Oh my god, him!
Yes, him.
Remind me to punch you in the face when I see you next.
TK, remind me to remind him to punch me in the face.
Yeah, okay. Pete, next time you come over, you have to punch Felis in the face.
Awesome, I'll do that.
There you go, I've reminded him.
I was banking on you forgetting. As a get out of punishment free card. You know, like playing chaotic neutral in D&D.
TK's never played Chaotic Neutral, he's played Chaotic Coward.
Yeah. And even then, it's not really been neutral or anything else. Brr. I'm going to forget to turn the volume down, aren't I? Yes, I am. Let's click that now, quick. There we go. So, yes, we are here. We are back for another episode. It's one of those shows, I think. Because I've already been asleep once tonight.
He has.
What the heck?
I was left alone. Full stop.
Only because Hedgie abandoned you.
He did.
But you only left alone for about half an hour. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, well, you did wake up and then not open the door for a while.
Hmm?
I think. There were
No.
some thumping sounds.
No, that was me getting up and just coming straight out.
No. In that case, you were thumping in your sleep.
That doesn't surprise me. I'm one of these people who will, if given a double bed, find in my sleep the centre and starfish. Pushing, if anyone else is in the bed, pushing them out of it in the process.
Apparently, Celine this week did not take kindly to me using her as a pillow in my sleep.
Oh, why not?
I don't know, but she was terrified. She goes, at least in your bed, you know, the wall is there to stop me from falling the fuck off.
Ah.
Excuses, excuses.
Well, I get it now, because it's like he's basically using her as the wall prop, and she has no wall prop herself, so she will just be pushed out of the bed.
Yep.
Indeed.
Like what I used to do to other people. 'Cause I'm a bastard like that.
Yay?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yay!
Yay, yay for bastards. Backing music is really quiet now. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. I might make it incredibly too loud to compensate, but we'll see.
Probably.
Meanwhile, I'm going to close down that March of the Robots thing and continue gathering some news because
Oops news. So, Mr. Xavier, while we do technical things at our end, how has your week been?
Not too bad. My week has actually been a holiday.
Oh, yeah, well, fuck you.
So, yeah, I was in Devon over last weekend. I was at Torquay, and it was lovely in Torquay.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was. I ended up listening to some of the broadest Devonshire accents ever, and I sat there and went, I'm just going to end up with a Devonshire accent all the way through my holiday.
Oh, so it was like returning home for you, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, seeing as I was born in Exeter, yes. But it was great fun. I actually enjoyed the sunny weather that I had. I don't know if it was rainy down here, but it was a lovely weekend.
We had some rain. Not a huge amount,
You
but
had
some.
Oh, okay. And I enjoyed the coach trip because it was a coach trip holiday.
Like that crappy
Despite
Channel
all-
4 show.
What?
Like that crappy Channel 4 show.
Not quite. I was literally the youngest person on the coach.
That doesn't surprise me.
But it was good fun. I went to places I wouldn't have gone to otherwise, and the hotel was well worth the cost on its own. So, you know, I'm sat there going, yeah, if it comes up next year,
Oh, really?
I'll put money down. Oh, God, yeah, the place was fantastic. It was done via Highcliffe Coaches,
Yeah.
and it was part of a group of hotels who are referred to as like the Dutchy hotels, and it was a fantastic hotel. I didn't get to use some of the facilities like the sauna because they
Oh,
had a sauna there, but it was absolutely great. The rooms was nice, the food was to die for, and it was literally right slap bang to the cliff, so you could go for a walk along the cliffside and enjoy the sea view, which I enjoyed immensely. The rest of my week was mostly catching up on The Mentalist, because the middle of my week was filled with TV series of stuff, catching up with The Mentalist, The Flash, not yet Shield, not yet the remainder of Season 2 of Arrow, which I still need to do.
or Gotham.
I don't know if I want to watch that.
Let's put it this way, with some of the performances in there, I have personally been renaming it as Gotham.
Yeah, it's Batman without Batman. This is the thing. It's like
No, it's Batman without Batman, but they're shoehorning in as many origins for villains as they can in the first episode alone.
yeah.
As soon as I saw that, I just went, nope, click.
I see.
And from that point onward was when I'd, heard about some of the over-the-top performances that had been going on. Hence, Gotham.
Whereas the Turtles have been going from strength to strength, so it's not
Yes.
all doom and gloom.
That was the other thing I did. I came down and saw the guys on this weekend as well, so I ended up watching another episode of the Turtles.
And I wasn't actually, oversleeping or looking after sick people, which meant I could actually help people.
Yeah, and we did our thing.
Yeah,
did
the
our thing.
Niririmer.
No, Rimo.
Yay.
There were people. I can officially say that this thing actually does exist, because based on the last time I went to one of these, it was TK and Felis, and I was swear blind it was like all made up in their head.
Ahaha. Yes, we totally made up that website that's filled with 300,000 people a year. Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past Felis.
totally made it up.
As if I have that kind of dedication.
Yes, you have.
Oh, okay.
You are, after all, the moderator for the area.
Municipal liaison. And he doesn't have that much dedication, otherwise we would have a lot more episodes of Bad Fanfic Theatre to listen to.
Yes, update.
It will be up there, especially seeing as for some bizarre reason in the last, week, I've suddenly been given, 10 people have followed your blog with WordPress.
Ooh.
What, for fuck's sake, now I have to do shit.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Now I've got to stop playing Red Dead Redemption.
Yes.
Yes.
You do.
Now I've got to find time to record, although it's only 2 weeks and 1 day until the Pikey Midget is out of my home.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And you're counting down those days with delightful relish.
Yep.
Literally, from the sound of it.
At
And yeah, so I saw the guys. I went to this NaMoRimo thing and overheard them discussing various bits on cyber tech, and I sat there and went, must not get involved in conversation, otherwise I will procrastinate horrendously. Because I was doing editing.
Pete was busy doing video work and things.
Yeah.
And trying to be all important and stuff.
Nobody bring up Williams D. Deeds. Nobody bring up Williams D. Deeds.
And then, what was it, Sunday? Because I was also playing Borderlands the pre-sequel, which I'll talk about later. So I was playing that, chilling out, saw Alex, who eventually turned up on his birthday after realising that he had said he would turn up.
Yeah,
at 3.
I am
very much in the end.
I had to wait a while to wish Alex a happy birthday, because I came in the evening, and we could hear from the front windows that Alex probably needed a little bit of time before we interrupted him.
I see.
Raging at Street Fighter games.
Not quite.
Let's go with that!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was obviously playing Akana Heart, which he is in training for his trip to America, hence why he's not here tonight.
Yep.
Because he is in London, playing Akana Heart, trying to get good enough to enter a competition in the United States. Without us. The cock
He
bucket.
is actually pretty self-conscious about this.
What, the fact he's not taking us?
No, the whole competition in general.
Oh, that, yeah.
Well, he's a
you
little
would be.
bit self-conscious about his fighting, because remember, I mean, when Mortal Kombat came out, he played the hell out of Scorpion, but was very aware that he couldn't play against anyone else. So he dragged us along to the competition to flesh out the numbers and have some easy wins. That's what I reckon, anyway.
Well,
We never faced him.
He eventually fucked off out before I could actually have a party. So when he came in, I sort of like waited for him to take his coat off, wait for him to come to his room, and hobsed him.
Ah, as you do.
As you
You
do.
didn't hop him properly because you didn't do it the second he came in.
Yeah, well, I was busy too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was forcing the girlfriend to watch Gurren Lagann. Because
Then
of
we
course.
go, what?
And then Facebook gets all upset because I'm having a slurp of tea. And it goes, I can't see your face anymore, there's a fuck off great mug in the way. Oh, well.
What did you just call me?
Oh.
Great mug. Aha! And then I went back to work on Monday, so it's like suddenly back into the swing of things, trying to remember what I'm doing for my job, and actually finding that there's a training thing that I really want to do, so I'm plugging to try and get that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
DJ's asking about the Pikey Midget. So that gives Felix something to talk about during his review of the week.
Yeah, because it's now his time. Aha!
Hey, what's this training thing? You can't just say a training thing and then leave it.
Basically, it's continuous improvement. It's the idea of being able to find problems or find the better solutions for what's going on.
All right.
And it's like project stuff which you would like push for resolution, feed out to teams, feed out the training feed out to the training teams to train out, things like that.
Yeah.
And it's effectively problem solving and management stuff and a bunch of other things that I've had a huge amount of stuff because of my complaints training, specifically for complaints, but the idea of being able to do problem solving for the company in that kind of role is something I'm looking forward to.
I see.
So I'm pushing to try and get the training because I would like to join that team and do that kind of work because
Again.
it's a lot more in depth than just taking calls.
I see.
Yep. So that's pretty much me. So Felix,
Yes.
your week.
I like to think that I have a few personal strengths, actually.
Oh, for God's sake. Just because you consider yourself a gift to medical science.
Oh, come on, you saw the dental post.
Yes, just because you consider yourself a gift to medical science.
A gift. I'm a bane to medical science. Anathema. Whatever the opposite of a panchair is. Panatia.
Panda?
Stephen
Panatia,
King?
sorry. Panda?
Panda.
Okay.
Back from Crazyville.
Yeah. My week was spent, I finally got round to having my specialist dental appointment, the guys who deal with phobia and sedation dentistry in general.
Yeah.
And this is my first dental checkup in many, many a year. With the end result being my teeth are perfectly fine, my gums are a little bit to worry about, tiny amount of bone erosion, still got that one baby tooth and a filling that is doing, so
And where is this dentist?
It's the specialist unit at the Royal Southamptons.
Ah.
So I didn't have far to go.
No, just around the
all.
corner.
Exactly.
It's not so bad.
Not even round the corner. I actually live just where Graham Road is.
Oh, yes.
So
you
I
just
can
walk
just
down
cut
Graham
straight
Road.
across Graham Road. Yeah,
And bada bing, you're there.
exactly.
Yummy
And the
bastard.
Farnshaw Ring is just behind. Farnshaw Wing is just behind where I go to see my usual doctors.
Well, that's even better.
No. So
You are Captain Sorted.
yeah, no, even better is because they said, well, pretty much all we've got to do really is give you one filling and give you a scale and polish.
Nice.
But because you are obviously disconcerted, we will arrange you to be having it done with sedation specialist.
Nice.
And this will take 3 or 4 appointments, and because I'm not a priority case, it could be a couple of months before I have the first session.
All is good. Oh,
Yeah.
Google Chrome has crashed. Okay.
Alrighty then. Apart from that, been playing Red Dead Redemption again, sorting out NaNoWriMo in general.
Yeah.
Had our first pre-meeting in which we got shunted out of the lounge.
We did. We got ejected from the lounge.
Yeah, she said I didn't mean to be that abrupt. Because what we usually do is we get enough people, and we have taken over the entire lobby before.
Yeah.
The entire lobby.
More than once.
But this was a Saturday, and it was coming on to early evening, and Harbour Lights has been getting more and more popular in the last year or two.
Yes, it has.
So they had a whole fuck ton of pre-bookings. And that would mean people that want to use the lounge. So instead, they moved us upstairs into the conference room,
Which was kind of cool.
which was kind of nice. I suddenly realised that if I just rearranged the tables, we could have had a lot more seating space.
Yeah, we could have, but never mind.
Yeah. But basically, they just wanted to get us out of the way so they could have paying customers there. And in the future, the deal is we can do what we usually do on off-peak days. But if it starts getting busy, they'd ask us to make sure to call in advance, make sure it's not going to be overly busy, and they'll rent us the conference room for a couple of hours for about a tenner.
Which is pretty nice.
Yeah. And they said, don't worry about paying for this time because we sprung it on.
Which is even better.
Even better.
I didn't even know
So-
they had a conference room. That was the thing.
Oh, I knew they had a conference room for hire.
It's like, do you want to use our conference room? Wait, what?
The downside is that it's kind of far to go to get the drink. So
It is. So you've got to go down 2 flights of stairs.
with no risers.
But there is a lift,
There is a lift.
which we totally should have used. And we didn't. We took the stairs each time.
We need the exercise.
That's true. That's very true.
And apart from that, preparing for the NaNoWriMo Rebel challenge that I'm going to do, because I don't really feel like writing anything this year.
Ooh.
So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt, the 30 days, 30 covers thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going to try to do 30 days of narration. So at least 2,000 words from a random point in many, many books, and see if I can get people brave enough to send me their efforts from that week of NaNoWriMo to read aloud.
I'll send you my stuff. I've got loads
Yeah.
of stuff you can read.
So I basically got I had a whole bunch of things I was going to do some of the fanfics, and I'm sort of swapping them out for other stuff. But I do have things like, where is it? Fantastic Mr. Fox, Harry Potter, Atlanta Nights,
Mm-hmm.
because that was deliberately awful.
Well, you could probably read the entire Fantastic Mr. Fox, because it's really short, and it's a thoroughly good read,
yes.
and it will definitely kick your word count, and you can always pirate the ebook so you can see how many words it actually is.
Yeah, and the idea of it as well is to try to get me back into trying to do something regularly.
Something narratory.
Narratory, broaden my range and strengthen myself back up, and help me find the right sort of cadence and proper way to narrate without relying on the bedding music and other stuff, like enhanced audio.
Yeah.
Actual
Basically,
narration
you should,
itself.
you should do them dry. No background music, no nothing.
I will at least read them first, but yeah, that was the idea. Like a little bit like classical music.
Yeah.
The intro and outro.
Yeah, exactly. Just have an intro and outro, and
And so
that'll be it. The rest
Reading
of it dry.
through the substitutions of things that I was going to do as well, I was just sat there going, I suddenly remember some really awesome books from my childhood that I'd actually like to reread again as part of this, like Clive Barker's The Thief of Always,
Oh, yeah.
which is basically, it's like an evil version of Peter Pan.
Aha.
A boy doesn't want to grow up, he runs away from home, he finds himself in a house full of other children, and a woman who cooks and cleans, looks after them with her cats. Except everything's slightly odd there, and it basically turns out the house itself is a vampire stealing the souls of the children.
Lovely.
Yeah, and when he does finally get out for the first time, he realizes he's been gone for over a decade.
Oh, crap. So, Five Nights at Freddy's, this ain't.
I was going to go, it is to Peter Pan what the Graveyard Book is by Neil Gaiman to the Jungle Book.
I see.
And again, this is Clive Barker trying to write children's fiction. Give you an idea of how fucked up it can be. You just pictured a cute baby version of Pinhead, didn't you, TK?
No.
You did, didn't you?
Okay, but he might have been a fox.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
I know. Fox cubs are cute.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Loads of prep work and some family business on the side, and arranging to have my fucking laptop fixed so I can actually do things without plugging in a whole mess of cables.
Yeah, I know that feeling. But you need to talk about the Parky Midget for DJ.
Talk about the Pikey Midget is the housemate that we have living with us, who, well, he's broken up with his girlfriend. That was quite hilarious. She basically called him every name under the sun, told him, you know, he has no fucking friends. There's no wonder nobody here likes him either. He now has a new squeeze, like 2 days later.
Oh dear.
But essentially, he's the kind of person who doesn't actually comprehend the fact that if he listens to loud music in his room, or the TV loudly, or has an all-night drinking party, all these things are most nights, and other people are affected by it. And he's used every excuse under the sun, like, oh, I used to be in the army, and it's PTSD, and my social worker said that I should listen to my music loudly, because it helps me calm down. Like, no, your social worker wouldn't tell you to do it that loud.
Your social worker would tell you to use fucking headphones, moron.
Yeah, at one point, I lent him my XO5 headphones. Geotech ones. For playing on his PS2 with. And that was the first time when we thought we'd resolved everything. But no. No, he never did buy headphones. And since then it's gotten from people trying to reason with him, to people shouting at him, to turning off the power.
Ha.
My god.
Yeah,
the
no,
thing
it's
is,
bad.
he doesn't seem to have a friend his own age. It's always young teenagers who are coming over because he buys alcohol for them.
Oh.
He's had a 13-year-old stay over at one point, and everybody was sat there going,
Oh, that ain't legal.
dude, I don't care if there's nothing going on there. And the fact is, we should fucking know if there's a minor in the house.
Yeah.
Especially the amount you drink. But yeah, it finally got to a point where the landlord said, look, you guys have... There's nobody there who hasn't been pissed off with him living there at one point. In fact, me and one of the other housemates never bothered locking our doors until he moved in.
I see.
So the landlord finally said, right, yeah, I'm getting them out there.
Hooray!
And because of the current laws that are in place that are meant to stop landlords from unfairly evicting people, he couldn't be pushed out until the end of his current tenancy, unless it was due to extreme circumstances.
Yeah.
So the 4th of November
Tick
is
tock,
when he's due
goes
out.
the clock. This is entirely too somber background music.
It is, isn't it?
That's
Thank you.
My pleasure.
But yeah, it's partially this guy is the reason why I haven't been able to do very much recording.
Because his background noise gets in the way of your mega mic of doom.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard some of the recordings I've taken.
Yep.
So you know how loud it can get.
Yeah, sadly.
It's also a case of drunken singing. You know, he comes in with people. It's 2 o'clock in the morning,
Wow.
and they go upstairs, and all you hear is, I'm pretty sure this guy cannot walk across his bedroom floor. He must stomp. And of course, if you try to do, that's the reason people have stopped talking to him, because if you try to tell him to do anything, he'll tell you to fuck off, and then try to bring up, oh, I was in the army, you know. It's like he's going to bring it up again, going, oh, I'm back in the army. Click, look at the records, ask some friends. Oh no, you're not in the army, you're in the fucking TA.
Oh, okay.
And knowing this guy as well as we unfortunately do, he would be doing the bare minimum of 19 days a year.
Oh, wow. Is that what you got to do?
Yeah, 19 to 23 days of training a year is the bare minimum required.
Christ.
And during those days is when you're paid at a regular, army rate.
Mm-hmm.
You can opt to do more, it being a whole voluntary reservist thing.
Yep.
But no, he will be gone. We will be happy. I'm so happy.
I was going to say, to cheer up the mood a little bit, we got to say hello to DJ, Red Kate, and Werewolfie, who are all currently in channel.
Hi, guys.
I noticed the other two show hosts aren't, despite the fact one of them being on a PC, and therefore could possibly be in channel. Not thinking of anyone in particular, Xavier.
Hello.
He's very quiet.
More calling Peterson. Come in, Peterson.
Oh, I know why.
Did you mute him?
No, Google Chrome crashed.
Oh.
It took the Hangout out. It's just
TK?
taken me that long to figure that out.
I was wondering why he'd been so quiet for so long.
I thought he was just listening intently. I was mistaken. Let's give him a quick call, shall we?
Let's. Should I carry on with the things that I'm doing?
He'll answer that in a minute.
Yeah.
There we go.
Is he back?
He is back.
Hi, Pete.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Xavier. Welcome back.
Did you have any thoughts on all of the stuff that was just talked about?
Or are you still listening to it on the feed to catch up?
I've been catching up a little bit, but I restarted everything because I wasn't entirely sure what was going on.
Google Chrome crashed for me, and therefore it knocked out the Hangout.
Really?
Yeah.
And then he suddenly realised, after we realised that you'd been quiet for a long time.
And then you were missing. And then it was like, where's Pit? Oh, of course. Chrome took it. Oh, bollocks. So I dialed up again.
I'm not the person who waffles without paying the attention, clearly.
I was listening to Felis. Hence why I wasn't listening to your not interrupting.
And I thought this is one of those random moments where you're tired enough where you listen for a few minutes and then don't bother interjecting with the things that you want to say.
That's it.
Because
Clearly.
of tiredness.
Yeah, that.
Well, I caught bits of the fact that the annoying housemate is going to be leaving soon, so...
So
Yeah.
party on, Garth.
So all you now need to do is install another annoying housemate with large amounts of noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not having Hedgie. I need him to put it
Damn
on this
it.
place.
But we need things at our place.
Yeah.
Things.
You got Alex for that. He's rich. He owns more than Hedgie does.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Get him to buy all the things.
Yes, but he has a significant other with which to lavish money on.
And? What
Alex lavishes money?
What kind of talk is that? Silly boy.
That, and he buys PS4 games.
Yes, he does. That's because he owns a PS4.
And that's all
Yes.
the money gone.
Hmm.
And come on, Plants vs. Zombies 3 is about 30 fucking quid.
That's why we don't buy it. I mean, the game I bought for Done and Dusted today cost me £3.19.
Ew.
Ooh, indeed. So, yeah. But no, my week pretty much echoes both yours, Pete, except I was working as opposed to having a week off. And then echoes Felis's weekend in that we went to the NaNoWriMo meetup.
We did.
And then had you down for the weekend. So it was all good. So it's not been a too uninteresting week because I've been prepping for NaNoWriMo. Swearing and cursing about it and wishing it would just fuck off already because, damn, it's a lot of hard work.
It's not like you've been prepping for it all year.
Nope, not in the slightest.
Not at all.
And I'm still nowhere near ready for it. Fuck this.
None of us ever are.
No, that's true.
And by the way, he's writing to continue what he wrote last NaNoWriMo.
No, not last one, because that was when I decided to go off kilter. It was 2011 and 2012 that I'm continuing. But it's all a continuation of a project I started in 2006. So,
Yeah, that project where he said, hey, I'll put you in a book
draw me some art, I'll make a story. Yeah.
to all of your friends.
And I got a couple of arts out of it. And I've shared first drafts and things, so people can see that they were actually in it. So,
And he still brings the book flag with him.
story flag, yay! I like my story flag.
And you killed a lot of people.
I did kill a lot of people.
Well, it is NaNoWriMo.
Yeah, it is kind of the point. In fact, that could be a thing for a real rebel project. a whole nano where no one dies.
I don't believe it. It's not going to happen.
Let's not get too crazy here, TK.
There's 2016's NaNoWriMo ready to be planned. The one where they all lived.
The thing is, I'm still going to have to be doing stuff during write-ins.
Yeah, aren't we all?
It's called writing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have some things that I need to work on that are fictiony that I could do during write-ins.
Yeah, writing.
I mean, there was before my laptop got shit kicked, the project I was working on where I'd actually have to do a fair amount of writing for that we just set up for. And the RPG thing as well, so I can work on those during write-ins and look busy.
I did like the awkward pauses whilst you were explaining what happened to the laptop to the entirety of the NaNoWriMo table.
Oh no, that's okay, because I managed to make it look like I just bounded out of bed enthusiastically first thing in the morning, all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yes, with some pauses.
Yeah. But it's okay, because nobody can read between the lines unless they already knew the story to begin with.
Why do you think I was busy doing editing?
Yeah, we saw you just parsing just clamping your lips shut and just getting a little bit redder as it went on, trying to contain yourself.
It's like, God's sake, I turned up to do work. For God's sake, stop making me.
God, none of us
involved.
turn up into that thing to do work. We're there to procrastinate, damn it.
And talk lots.
We're writers.
Yeah, we're writers, not authors. Fuck you.
So, is that your wrap up for the week then, Teeks?
I think so, because it's now taken us well into a time period of which we have other segments.
Oh my God, other segments.
I know, right? Who'd have thought? So,
Yeah.
play silence for a jingle, and we shall move on to the gaming news.
Now it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
Seamless.
Are you breaking things?
No, on the contrary, that actually went really smoothly. For once.
Dear God. So, gaming news. I'm going to start off with a bit that's gaming related, but more internet news. And this is actual news rather than our usual, ripped off of any website about a game. The UK web trolls could be sentenced to 2 years under new laws.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the proposal for the current maximum punishment of 2 weeks or something stupid to be quadrupled. So this is Justice Secretary Chris Grayling who proposed the crackdown. Currently, offenders who subject victims to sexually offensive, verbally abusive, or threatening material online can only be imprisoned for a maximum of 6 months. But the proposed changes, which are debated in House of Lords and would apply to England and Wales only, would enable magistrates to refer serious cases to the Crown Courts, where offenders could receive a maximum jail term of 24 months.
And Baron, this is getting even more exposure at the moment because of what happened to Chloe Madley on TV recently.
Richard and Judy's daughter thing.
This is kind of brought to light, especially to the BBC, some of the stuff that's been going on, because they referred back to Gamergate, and I'm sat there reading their articles going, did you not pay attention the first time round? What?
Probably a different journalist.
No, possibly, but this is the BBC. They're like talking. In the past few months, there's been a growing number of online attacks on female professionals, and they do include art critic, media critic.
Did the hashtag Yes Every Woman was in response to Emma Watson's fucking speech.
Oh yeah,
which she got so much
abuse for.
Yeah.
It was a good speech, though, from what I understood.
Yeah, it was a wonderful speech, and I'm not sure why certain people took it upon themselves to take that much umbrage.
Because they could.
Yeah.
Because it offended their tiny penis morality.
It's becoming a trend, because this is the thing that I've seen when you enable a large group, and I mean a large group, of people to start throwing comments around, because where I've played Destiny, I've been on the forums a lot. And it's scary reading the comments of people who are saying they're gamers, because some of it is just ridiculous. And some of the other places I've looked at, it's the same. But I can go to other forums which have got, I would say, classier fans, and suddenly it's like all of that trash disappears. So it's my only logical thought from this is that where you're allowing a large number of people the opportunity to say whatever the hell they want without any kind of moderation or any kind of rules or guidance, you have this situation. But maybe this will do something. I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts in the studio of whether or not, if this can be actually enforced? Do you think it will actually...
Well, it's not so much new rules, it's an amendment to existing laws.
Yeah, it's strengthening, because at the moment it has to be done via the Misuse of Communications Act of 1988.
Among others as well, that was broadened for online threats and like. A couple of years back we did it on the show. But basically at the moment, the proposed amendments to the law are they give police more time to gather evidence for prosecution, and they allow the Crown Prosecution Service, the police, to actually kick things up to the Crown Prosecution Service that they wouldn't have been able to before. And this is partially a good thing. Because there are
do you think it'll actually change the internet culture? Because this has been an undercurrent that's been going on and on for a while before Gamergate.
Short answer, no.
It's been going on for a while, but it's something that's been reaching ahead again, because it's like the third crashing of the waves of
it kind of goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. And I've noticed the more people kind of act all liberal, you should expand your horizons. In other words, you should think what I think. I noticed that there's growing revolution against it. It's almost like the kind of trolls that are going, fuck you, I'll say what I like online. I don't need to listen to your dogma. I will speak my own mind, and it disagrees with yours, and I'm proud of that, so fuck you. It's winding you up, which is more the reason why I'm doing it. I don't think it's entirely so much to cause as much grief to the victim as possible. It's just basically to say fuck you to all the people who are trying to tell them how they should behave online. Like when your parents say don't do that, what's the first thing you go and do? You go and do it. And I reckon that plays a part of it.
My parents usually told me why I shouldn't do something.
Yes, well, we had better parents.
But
I mean, it's getting to be. Some of this is getting to be silly, and I do agree that there does need to be some sort of official response, because with this we've also had Anita Sarkeesian, a woman that does require a punch in the face, having cancelled her speech because of threats of being shot up at the university.
No, it wasn't the threats of her being shot up. They offered to increase security around her.
Yep.
However, these threats included such things as, you'd better watch out, we're going to cause the biggest school massacre this country has ever fucking seen. We can't get to you. We're sure there's plenty of other independent, liberal women we can, show the error of their ways. It's basically, the police turned around and said, look, we can't actually do much about those threats because of the current concealed carry laws in Utah. And she said, well, no. In that case, I'm cancelling. Because they could not guarantee full safety. Even if it was somebody playing up, the things that say actual terror thing, rather than actual, I'm going to go through with this threat. You probably still wouldn't want to take that risk, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think the daftest thing is a lot of the people who are doing the flag waving, and I will say doing the flag waving, are using a lot of this as their soapboxes going forward. And it's not resolving anything, it's just creating this massive build-up that someone's going to get into court for.
Yeah. And with the current state of how much you can fuck over somebody's life through the internet at the moment, we do need a way for some legal recourse for some of the most heinous actions that are out there. The only thing I am worried about is that this is Chris fucking Grayling.
Yeah.
The guy who decided I'll make my exclusive announcement of this with the Daily Mail. I actually quite like my friends there.
Exactly. It's Tory government. We can't, condemn government. We can't trust it as far as we can throw it. I mean, there's a reason it's called the condemn government.
Well, to be fair, I think if anything actually pushes this back down under the groundswell, then we're not going to see anything come out of this. But I am a bit worried about what if there was actual physical violence that comes out of this, and what the backlash will be for that. Because
there has been in the past quite a few cases of assault, in some cases even murders have arisen because of the internet harassment, bullying, cyber stalking, so on and so forth.
Well, but I'm thinking more in terms of the banner waving. What if at some point someone actually stands up and actually goes, Postal, over the fact that
You mean
people are
Elliot Rogers
banner waving.
as a big example?
Mm.
He is very much in the banner waving, anti-feminist MRA camps, and he did go out and unfortunately do things fairly recently.
I can see Werewolfian channel. And he says, there should be laws against lamers on the internet, though. 3 months in prison for being lame. Also, women drivers. Cameras on all roundabouts to make sure they don't stop when there's no traffic coming. Instant driving ban for that.
Also, if you break Wheaton's law, you are sentenced to no less than 12 months wearing a bad beard.
Hey, I didn't break that law.
Are you actually saying
Almost.
that your beard is a bad beard, TK?
Huh? I must admit, I've not had any complaints about it yet.
True. Anyway, have you got any news in the studio?
In the studio. Hang on a second. Here we go. Oh wait, pop-ups. Fucking pop-ups. AG El Numa wants the Master Cycle to appear in an actual Legend of Zelda game.
The what?
They've recently added Link to Mario Kart 8.
Oh, yeah.
And in this, he has a horse motorcycle, which actually looks really fucking cool. And,
Okay.
it's called the Master Cycle. You can have a look at it. And AG likes it so much that he actually wants to implement it into a game that he's working on, which we all know right now is the upcoming Zelda U.
Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah. Well, that's
Fuck
the name
off,
right now.
Nintendo.
It's the name right now. I'm pretty sure they're going to announce an actual date.
I hope so, because at the moment it's the case of, oh, you're too stupid to figure out what console to buy our games for. We'll put the fucking name of the
Yeah.
game in the fucking title. It's like Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS. Don't buy it for the Wii U, it won't work. Morons. The gaming public isn't that stupid, honey bunny. They're stupid enough to troll on the internet, but they're not that stupid they can't figure out what format a game is for.
But, this has prompted a huge backlash amongst Legend of Zelda fans for some bizarre reasons. Like they're going, you can't have fucking motorcycles in a Legend of Zelda game. And I was like going, you guys have magical talking sailboats, steamboats, and trains in official Zelda games. And
Yeah, but
the
they're
one
steam
with the
trains.
train, the one with the train was one of the most favourite ones of recent years.
Yeah, but it was a steam train.
And the fact that even the medieval style Zeldas, which weren't meant to have any sort of like slightly advanced technology, had robots.
I
the
think,
fact that-
though, there is a slight difference between kind of mech and tech that looks the part for the era the game is set in, and then just some weird-ass futuristic bike horse thing.
Oh no, it's not even futuristic. It actually looks, apart from the blue colouring, it actually does look fairly steampunky in and of itself. You look up the Master Cycle, PK.
Oh, hang on then. Give me
But
20
no, I'm
minutes.
just like going. Actually, no. With the like like Epona Industries, gives you the Master Cycle. I was like going. You could actually really get into making a steampunky Legend of Zelda world, and it still would fit with everything that's come before.
Well, it would,
I'd wanna
it would
see
give
it.
at least a refreshing change of direction.
Hang on. Okay.
Because let's face it, all we got at the moment is go out, get the Triforce, kick X baddie
No.
that isn't Gowron's ass.
Spend an hour waffling in a village until it's revealed that you are the new incarnation of the Hero of Light.
Yay.
Except the most recent one, in which is a case of I saw the opening. Princess Zelda goes, times are dark. We must find the new Hero of Light. I wonder when he will appear. Walk out into the courtyard. Hi, I'm Link. You're the
Here
hero.
he is.
I knew we should have started comparing you to the portraits every single time. Just save us from all the searching. We were still waiting on TK, aren't we?
Well, whilst we're waiting on
Whilst we're
TK,
waiting,
to
TK.
do stuff, the first
just
trailer.
looking still.
Oh,
Hang on.
oh, you've done it.
No, I actually used Google Voice Search because I couldn't type the fucking thing one-handed. That's why I muted myself. I was like going, okay, Google, show me shit. And it's just loading now. On mynintendonews.com. Which is a shitty ass thing, it's taking forever to load.
Have you got something else there?
Oh my god, it almost looks like something out of Tron.
I say I don't know what it looks like in the game. I just had a look at the your usual Zelda pastel art concept that they did it.
And that's what I'm doing. It looks like something out of fucking Tron.
But you can see that actually fitting in the steampunk world as well.
Well, if you can chuck the link into the show notes.
Really heavy, maybe perhaps struggle.
Yeah, chuck the link into the show notes. Let our listeners have a chance to have a look at
I
this.
just closed down my link.
Meanwhile, the first trailer for the original PlayStation TV series Powers has now been released.
Oh yeah.
The show is going to launch this winter and will be free for PlayStation Plus subscribers.
Woo! Oh yes.
So this is the big thing that they were touting back. Oh God, when that was the PlayStation 4 reveal, wasn't it?
That was at the E3 thing, yeah. Oh, that
Yeah, and this huge amount of stuff. It's based on the graphic novel series Powers, created by Brian Michael Bendis, and Michael Avon Oemon. Words. The cast includes Charlotte Copley, Susan Hayward, Noah Taylor, Logan Browning, Alicia Rulin, and Eddie Izzard. No,
Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard.
As in our Eddie Izzard.
As in our Eddie Izzard.
As in the awesome one.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
As it's free, I'm actually going to be tempted to watch this, because this was the thing I was interested in, aside from when they did the 15-minute talk that did nothing to show anything at E3.
It's like, I'm a very small fat guy going to talk about it for hours in a boring voice, and yeah, you're excited now, aren't you? No. No.
Why did that almost sound like a military drill for a second there?
Pretty much, it was.
Pretty much. It's nice to see it coming out. It's nice to see it's coming free to PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Because it is nice to have those free things, especially when occasionally the free games are a bit...
And especially seeing as it was an exceptionally well-written comic as well.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward. If it takes off, I'll happily follow if they do any more.
Never read the comic. Never cared.
No, I've not read it either, which is why I'm interested in actually
sort of
getting on this.
Superheroes and related miscellanea aren't really so much your thing, though, are they? TK?
Exactly.
No. Any further news from the Feelers?
Yes, as soon as Chrome stops being a fuckwit on me.
Oh, that feeling.
Come on. Tekken 7. We have release dates and arcade release dates.
I've seen some of the arcade testing.
Have you seen the arcade cabinets themselves?
No, they've only been in generic cabinets.
No. They now have their own special cabinets.
Ooh.
Indeed. The last time they told us anything about it, the last time they showed it in public for Tekken 7, it was only about half complete, 60% complete.
Yeah, I mean, for the tests, they've been using art assets from Tekken Tag Tournament 2, which a lot of fans have really kicked off about, because they're going, oh, it looks just the same as Tekken Tag 2. And it's like, oh, you fucking idiot. It would do!
And remember, it wasn't that long ago either, was it, the last outing?
No, they've been testing it in Japan fairly recently, so...
Yeah, it's
all over YouTube.
We now have a release date of February, March 2015.
Ooh, that's quite
that
close.
Popular month, February, March.
Yep.
For those of you who want to know...
The Easter season.
Namco haven't slammed down the rumours at the moment that it will be running on the Namco arcade system for 78. If you're geeky enough about your arcade cabinets to know what that is.
That's just the basic... no, that is PC-based, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
You're the one who should know.
You'll have customization options at the cabinet.
Yes, you will. In the same way we had on Tekken 5 and 6. And it will be probably by the IC card again.
And seeing as the arcade is going out for release, they're also expecting the console release to come not too long afterwards.
No, because what they do...
Once the arcade version's been out long enough for them to, create more balanced games.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like about Namco, is they go, right, we're going to release it in the arcade first. Not because, we're surviving the arcade crowd, but because basically they can beta test the game for us. We can then do balance adjustments, collect ghost data from your SD cards to actually put into the final game. And when we've got all the data we need, balance the game properly, and everyone in the arcade seems to like it, we'll then ship it to consoles.
When you say ghost data, is that like the fighter AI of the fighters that you fight against?
Yeah. Basically, when you're playing against various characters and you just see some weird-ass wonderful name coming up instead of the character name, that is an actual player, probably from the arcade.
That explains so much.
Really? You didn't know?
I don't really pay much attention to the tech and stuff.
Oh dear, Mr. Xavier. Oh dear.
Whereas I actually kept track of some of the tech and stuff because I knew it was relevant to TK's interests.
Mm-hmm.
Much in the same way that I made sure I bookmarked the just announced release date of the new Atelier Iris game for Alex.
Whereas
Yeah.
But that's not really as newsworthy for the rest of us here, so...
when I was playing Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection on the PSP, I was actually uploading my ghost data to help Namco. Because I knew from playing Soul Calibur 2 in the arcade that ghost data battle is fun times.
Actually, speaking of Namco Bandai
Oh, yes.
and
Yes.
arcades, guess which franchise is being revived as an arcade cabinet?
Bubble Bobble.
How many Namco arcade games can you think of, TK,
Well,
that are well known?
I was going to say, well, the obvious ones like Pac-Man Collection and all that jazz. There's also things like...
See how quickly he gets to it.
it's not Pac-Man,
Ghosts and Goblins?
Wouldn't
No.
be, no, that's not Namco. That's Capcom. It wouldn't be Maximum Tune, or Maxi Boost as it's called in Japan.
Nope.
Because they're on number 4 or 5 of that at the moment anyway. Mega Man's Capcom.
We could be here a
We
while.
couldn't have another Pac-Man. That would be weird.
What was one of the most played cabinets besides DDR
Well, that
at
was
Sega
Konami.
Park?
Soul Calibur.
I was going to say, which era? Because there were quite a few most played during the time.
I'll just say that Time Crisis 5
Ah!
is a thing.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, fuck yeah.
AM.net have revealed the first few details about Time Crisis 5, and this is the exact same source that revealed the release date for the arcade versions of Tekken 7.
Cool.
And this as well is being planned for release in Japanese arcades around March next year.
Nice. It'll be nice to see
And
Time Crisis
there's
again.
also an image catalogue of screenshots from in-game.
Cool.
So are we going to get the terabytes back?
I
Let's
don't know.
hope not.
The two-player aspect is there. It looks like the main character for Time Crisis 5 is some blonde surfer dude.
Yeah.
So pretty
and
much like
some
Time
brunette
Crisis 4,
guy
3,
in a
2,
blue
1.
Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, that sounds like the Time Crisis lead characters, whose names I
Yeah.
can never remember. I'm
No,
sure
as in when
someone
I
in
say a
chat will know.
surfer dude, I actually mean dressed up as a Californian beach bum.
Yeah. Yep, that sounds like him.
Like a Japanese Magnum PI.
Yeah. That,
Oh my god, that's the perfect fucking description, isn't it?
yeah. That was always one of the two lead characters whose names I can never remember.
I don't know, I just remember those Blondie and Brunetti.
Yeah. Left and right, blue gun and red gun.
Pink gun.
Pretty much.
What I laughed is that Pink was always player one, so people who always play player one have that kind of constant battle in their head. Do I go for the girly Pink, or do I give up being player one? Decisions.
I never cared that much about having the pink guns. So.
What I liked about Time
No.
Crisis is that depending on which side you play, player one or player two, you got a different shooting experience because you would separate and attack the same foe from different angles,
Which
Yeah.
was fun.
which was a brilliant
Except
idea.
when you and your partner both shot the same guy at the same time every fucking time
Yeah.
and ended up wasting ammo and getting hit yourselves.
What was even more fun is when one guy shot the guy just before you fired off, and you ended up shooting your friend because he was at the other side and this guy was in the crossfire.
This has also happened a lot.
Oh yeah, you've lost a shitload of points in number 4 or
I-
3 and earlier. You lost a life, which was a fucking pain in the ass.
I called those games where everything goes wrong Bullet Magica.
Moving on, EA is investigating FIFA 15 transfer problems.
Oh?
Yeah, apparently trading unavailable on Xbox while work is being carried out to resolve the issues. So in Game World, there is now issues with the transfer process in
So you
FIFA.
could actually do like transfers in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
They were reporting trading issues over the weekend. EA has subsequently suspended Ultimate Team transfers on Xbox, although problems have also been reported on other platforms. For Xbox One and 360 players, trading for the EA Sports Football Club and FUT web app transfer market will be unavailable while they work on this. And this is a fairly... The scariest thing, I went into CEX because my holiday, so trying to find something to fill the gap between when I finished in Devon and when Borderlands came out.
Yeah.
The sheer number of FIFA that I found traded in already.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because most cash converters and the like have shut down, which means there is no communal place for sports games to go to die anymore.
And so they go to CEX to die instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like it was scary because I was expecting like masses of Destiny, and it was like one little section. FIFA walls.
Walls and walls of FIFA. Speaking of which,
And GTA 5 as well. It's like walls.
It's kind of distracting. So the TV in the living room keeps dimming and then brightening, and then dimming and then
And
brightening.
brightening.
Is this because of you, TK?
no.
Hmm.
Oh, for
It's
crying
the
out
power.
loud.
It's going to cut out soon.
No, it's the TV going into kind of standby mode and then waking up and realising, oh, right, we're still busy. Okay, sorry.
Speaking about Destiny, apparently it tops the US software chart as hardware sales also soar, and the PS4 enjoys its biggest sales month so far in 2014.
Although if
So
you go
they have
across
this.
all consoles at the moment, it's actually The Evil Within and Borderlands 3 sequel who are the top sellers at the moment.
At the moment, certainly, but this is September, and the US games industry, and following on probably everyone else, continued a steady incline in September, driven by the record-breaking sales of Destiny and strong sales of the PS4 and Xbox One, probably because of Destiny. Total spend on new physical games and hardware for the month hit 1.1 billion, which is up 2% on the same month in 2013. Hardware sales were up a massive 136% to around $432 million.
Dang.
And that's offset the 35% decline in software sales,
What are we talking
which
about
was
again?
down to
What are we talking about again, sorry?
the software sales.
Of.
In general, there's still been a decline, but the increase
For
on
any
hardware
console in
sales has
particular?
offset the software sales versus last year. Because September was busy last year.
Any console in particular?
Yeah, but September last
They've
year,
not given too many details, unfortunately.
So, because
September-
I kind of phased out, because do you remember the plan of buying FIFA 14 for the PS2? What with it being the last PS2 game ever to be released?
Yeah.
Well, when it came out, it was still like 30 odd quid. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And then I just checked Amazon now, and there's only one available, and it's selling for 45 quid.
Fuck.
And I was like, oh, my plan has just spectacularly backfired. I thought, I'll wait for it to be out for a while, because then it will be cheap as shit. No,
Well,
it's
they-
got more expensive.
They do give the top 10 software titles, and this is physical sales in the US for September, as Destiny, Madden, NFL 15, FIFA 15, Super Smash Bros. 3DS version.
Yeah, because we use one not out yet.
Yep, the Shadows of Mordor game, NHL 15, Minecraft
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
the
'cause there's been
360 and
another-
PS3,
Oh.
The Sims 4 on PC, Destiny Infinity, and Diablo 3 at number 10 still.
Blimey. We need a new Crash Bandicoot.
I just started going, yeah, it's pretty obvious that Destiny will be the biggest selling game for September.
Oh, yeah.
This is about the only
Oh,
game
yeah.
that came out in September that was actually,
was
of
actually
any
worth
note.
buying, yeah.
Whereas last year, we had, 6 or 7 major titles that released in September?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a boatload that came out September, October, November.
I got all excited.
And now we're just waiting for November again.
In which 1 or 2 games are coming out on schedule. And then everything else we've got to wait until February.
because
Yeah.
Minimum.
dicks.
Any other
It may, in
news?
fact, actually be April until some of these games.
Well, in all fairness, I don't mind games taking forever to come out, because as long as they come out and they're actually finished and reasonably polished, it'll be worth the wait. If they rush to get them out in a particular scheduling time, and you end up with unfinished, buggy crap, then it's not worth it, because the game's unplayable, will get shit reviews, and then won't sell as much. So they might as well delay it, get the better reviews, sell more copies, and make it an overall better experience for everyone who just had to suffer a 3 or 4 months wait.
Thing is, half the time the delay isn't because of tuning, because the game will go gold months before, and that means everything's
won't.
already been pressed.
It goes to gold last minute.
No, normally I've been seeing
it's
them
like,
going gold like a month before.
Evolve was originally meant to be coming out next month / Christmas. But the reason they've delayed it is because they actually only have about 6 characters and 1 monster completed.
Ah, yeah, so they need a bit more time.
Yeah, which strangely,
We need to build the game.
the one monster they claim that they've completed is not the same one shown in the original gameplay video at E3. It's the giant Godzilla one, not the Cthulhu one.
Brilliant.
So, and apparently they're going to make a whole bunch of characters with the different classes. I still think it would have been so much easier for them to go, right, you need one of each class. Why not have a bunch of characters, like 6 or 7 characters available, or 8 characters, and then you choose the class for that character, and then the mods for that class for that character, instead of them making many, many different characters with variations of class setups.
Because sense.
Yeah.
We don't do that here.
And I know why they
behave.
wanted more characters. It was to avoid the Left 4 Dead, thing
Syndrome.
where, first player there, I choose Bill or Nick. The rest of you squabble amongst yourselves.
I mean, that's one of the things I liked about not Psychonauts, Awesome Nauts, is that there was a wide variety of characters to choose from, and they each had their own strengths and weaknesses, but overall were reasonably well balanced.
Yeah, I mean, the 3 characters that I can actually play reasonably well with, I'm guaranteed that one of them will be available each match.
Yeah, which is nice.
And I usually play as either Foxy, what's his name, Octavian, and Laser Bitch. She's my most played character, and I can never remember her fucking name.
I don't play with any of them because I suck at the game.
Really?
I haven't played that in a
you are
while.
Great at
Dying.
no,
Yes.
if you play as, what is her name? One with the cannon.
Oh no, I normally play better with the Western-y dude. Who was
Oh,
one of the-
your first character.
Yeah, pretty much one of the very earliest characters you get.
No,
We're really advertising this game well.
I played it yonks ago. Fuck off.
if you play as the slower moving chick with the neck scarf and the auto pistol thing, you are pretty much good at either defense or tanking defense towers by yourself. Pretty much. As long as you don't get into a one-on-one fight with
Okay.
somebody off guard, then you're pretty much guaranteed a long survival rate with her.
Fair enough. Allegedly. I should have to play it again at some point because I haven't played it in ages. We've all got it on Steam. We should all have a game.
I think we wasn't it free on PS? No, it wasn't on PS. Was it?
No, it was only on PS4, I think.
Oh.
It's on PC and PS4.
Yeah, because I got
Yeah.
the Steam copy because it was
Well,
like
we've
£3.
all got the PS copy.
That's because I bought it for people.
I think I ended up with an extra copy of it because
People
Indie
were
Bundle.
buying copies, yes.
No, because Indie Bundle. And TK bought it for me. Or gave me one of his free copies.
It wasn't free. It was a case of you bought a pack. You could buy
Yeah.
3 copies. You could buy basically 3 copies, and it was ended up being slightly cheaper than buying them individually. So I was like, yeah, I know people who want to play this, so I'll buy it for myself and a couple of others.
That's one of the things I wanted to do with Final Exam, was buy the multiple copy one.
That's worth doing.
Oh god, what game was it? I think I actually did just buy Final Exam recently in a Steam sale as the 4-pack.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to at some point. I'm gonna have to get around to getting back on my PC and checking all my leftover Steam keys
Yes.
and start distributing them.
Yay, games!
Any further news from the studio?
Yeah, I was starting with Oculus VR. Have all this time they have been making a fairly big deal of making sure that the Oculus Rift will be affordable.
Yeah.
You know, the $200 to $400 price range.
That's affordable, is it?
As far as permanent PC upgradey thingies go, yes.
Okay.
However, they are slightly worried about the extraneous costs. They're going, we want it to be affordable, but we know in the long run we can't truly say that it is affordable because you actually need a fairly solid PC to run fully immersive video games.
Yeah.
And the price of the hardware is something the companies had to admit that they're worried about. Oculus VR's Vice President of Product, Nate Mitchell, said in a recent interview with Metro, I think the truth is, though, with the Rift at least, even though you're spending about $350 on a dev kit, you do need a high-end computer to be able to power it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the displays and everything else, and that really becomes the gating factor, because if everyone can afford the $350 headset, but then you need a $2,000 or $1,000 computer,
Yeah.
that's a huge cost.
Yes, it is.
So that is one of the biggest challenges we have moving into the consumer market,
Scaling
and
it down.
something we are worried about. And he led it to it on, the amount of complexities coming in the near future with display resolutions increase and the hardware would remain expensive because of that.
I mean, this is
Yeah.
one of the things I'm kind of pleased with Project Morpheus, if Sony actually do get around to developing it properly for the consumer market, because you won't have to worry about the piece of kit running the machine,
Well,
because it'll be a PS4. And if you're going to get Project Morpheus, you've already got the PS4. So that's not going to be an additional outlay. And it maybe just be the cost of the Move controllers if you didn't get them while the PS3 was using them.
Well, the thing is, you're just looking at what people are looking at as the next big thing in gaming is 4K.
Mm-hmm.
And for some bizarre reason, what they're expecting at the moment is games running at 4K resolutions at a recommended minimum of 75 FPS.
Or 3D, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, really, we'd recommend 120. So
And
you
that's
get
the
60
point
FPS
where
per
you'd
eye.
either have to have one beefed up bitch for computer or the most efficient fucking thing in the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that would probably be for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox 2.
But bear in mind that this wouldn't be a big problem if they were just catering to the the VR enthusiasts. These are the people who would happily.
Yeah, shell the money out.
Yeah, it's like you look at the very small but very fanatical core market who have spent thousands of pounds on the accessories for Flight Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen the price of just, a single clutch lever thing
I've seen some of the,
running for the price of the Oculus VR.
I've seen the kit in the flesh. It's really pretty. And it's a shame I
Right.
don't like planes, because some of it's fucking terrifying.
But this is the point where they actually want to be mainstream as well. They don't want this to be just a niche thing because they foresee so many applications and uses for, gaming in general, movies, interactive experience, so on and so forth. Everything that we wanted VR.
They
to do
see
in the
it,
first
but
place.
I've yet to see how that implementation's going to go ahead.
Well, we've already had some use of it. We did a story a little while back of an old woman who was actually given a guided tour of her hometown before she died.
End on a downer there.
Yeah.
No, it's actually kind of heartwarming. She kind of died before they could finish off the experience for her. But this woman had always wanted to go back to her hometown before she grew too ill to travel.
Mm-hmm.
She grew too ill to travel, so they basically managed to recreate the entire place as a virtual reality area that she could walk around and visit through the use of the Oculus VR. It was quite heartwarming.
They could have done it with Google Cardboard
And
and Street View.
probably, but it wouldn't have been quite as interactive as she wanted.
Probably not, but it would have given her the rough idea. Your home looks
Rather,
like this
as
now.
her family wanted.
It's like, your home looks like this now. It's all 2D.
Right, so lastly, in terms of gaming news from myself,
Okay.
we have the World of Warcraft subscribers actually rising ahead of the most recent expansion release, and this is Warlords of Draenor. Now,
The one
Blizzard
with
have
the
announced
worst time travel plot ever conceived. No, even
Blizzard
Alex
have
has looked at it and
announced
gone,
their subscribers have now totaled 7.4 million as of September 30th, up from 6.8. So
Yeah,
they've
it's gonna be
nearly
like back.
regained an entire million users back.
After they dropped 7 odd million throughout their lull period.
Yep.
Slowly coming it back, guys. Slowly.
Well, currently it's the Iron Tide release before the major event. This is Iron Horde Incursion World event. Players looking to upset the Iron Horde invasion can journey to the Blasted Lands to face down the onslaught and yada yada yada. New character models, a user interface, class changes. The release is set for November the 13th, and apparently will explore the franchise's history across the new continent of Draenor, formerly presented as the Shattered Outland, and it will increase the level cap to 100. And you have the option to immediately boost one character or existing character to level 90.
Ooh. Sorry, it's World of Warcraft. My care limit has just disappeared, and as has Felix to go to the loo.
Yeah. Well, I gotta wonder though. I mean, this is where they originally said they were going to finish, because they were originally saying Titan would be the next big MMO. They would finish with WoW at level cap 100. I don't know what they're going to do now, especially now they've cancelled Titan.
WoW 2! Come and do your grind all over again. Don't
don't
you
even know
want
if they
to
can-
do that?
Well, I don't even know if they can do that, because they've ripped every good idea from every other MMO and seen their user base slowly decline.
Oh, hang
I
on.
don't think we're in the days of there being like this one big MMO anymore. I mean, not like when it initially came out, and not like when EverQuest was around.
Wolfie is just saying something about the VR thing, I think. Saying something about apparently they managed to recreate a hometown in Minecraft.
I know they built a
I know
city.
the city's been done in Minecraft. And I think parts of Denmark, were recreated in Minecraft as well. And then the trolls came along and smashed it all up before they could save it on the servers. Oh.
Yeah, but it's okay because they had backups. Ordnance Survey have recreated pretty much most of England in Minecraft so far. People managed to recreate the entire city of Westeros
Yep.
accurately
Okay.
and scale. And there's a massive, I believe it was a 200 gig file uncompressed,
Crikey.
which was the entire Azeroth.
I've just noticed on the webcam, Feeder's taking his mug away.
Yeah, I'm having some more water.
Oh,
You've noticed I'm not quite as squawky yet as I usually am about an hour and a quarter into the show.
I was kind of hoping for delicious hot beverages, but oh well, we can.
I could take a smoke break because I can actually hear both you and Xavier without my headphones on.
Oh blimey, how
Yeah.
loud is he?
I can just about hear him if I listen from the sink.
Maybe we should turn your headphone volume down slightly.
No, I mean, you've got on speakers in your room.
Have I?
Yes.
That's odd. Normally we've got about 20 ton of feedback by now if I do that.
Yeah. Hang on, Pete, say something.
Something.
Say
Wait,
something
no,
else.
it sounds like it's coming from in here.
Oh, it could be the telly.
No,
okay,
no,
did you not turn the telly down?
no, it's definitely coming out through the speakers because I can hear him behind me as well.
Wow. Professionalism.
That's
Wow.
okay, because that means I could actually take a smoke break mid-show and not miss out on Pete.
Dun-dun-dun.
Dun-dun-dun. Well, speaking about that, then I think we need to move on to Done and Dusted.
That
Go
sounds like
collect a cup.
someone who wants a segment. So while Felis is cupping, we can have a little bit of a jingle.
It's that time where the cast of TigerTails Radio reviews stuff badly. This is Done and Dusted.
And there we
He's
go.
talked over it.
Huh? Yes, we know.
I can
Felis
hear
talked over him. No, I don't turn off the microphone to that.
Really should.
That's more buttons. I've only got two hands. One of them to start and stop the jingle, and the other one's to fade. I don't have a third hand for microphone adaptation. No, because I need to fade it with the backing music.
Dear God.
Peasant.
Anyway, so this is Done and Dusted, where we go out and find things to review and give you our opinions on once we've kind of got a taste for it. I've got Borderlands the pre-sequel. I'm assuming you have Vib Ribbon.
How did you guess?
Oh, I
the
don't
clue at the
know.
beginning
Could
of
it
the
be
show.
because you got that tune stuck in my head?
Really? What tune might that tune be?
The menu music, for one.
What menu music might that be? How does
The
it go,
menu
Mr.
music.
Xavier?
Now you ask me to remember it.
Yeah, considering it's supposed to have been stuck in your head all this time, I'm sure you can remember it.
Probably, but I'm not going to sing it over the channel.
And why not?
Because I don't want to. Ha!
Yeah.
Yeah. And Felis, meanwhile, is sat in the back, because eventually we'll get back to him. So do you want to start with Vib Ribbon?
Okay, I'll start with Vibrabin.
What the hell? Oh, Vib Ribbon. Oh, God.
Is this the music you're talking about, Pete? That music
That's the one.
that is now stuck in your head forever and ever and ever. Yes, we have Vib Ribbon on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Portable and PlayStation Vita. Because
And PlayStation 1.
it's a PS1 classic. Are you eating, Pete?
No, no,
are you,
not
are
at
you
all.
eating crisps?
No, no, not at all.
You noisy, crisp-munching fuck. Couldn't you eat something quieter? You
Oh,
know,
of course not.
Maybe like, I don't know, fucking slates or something? Jesus Christ.
Carry on with your
Does that
review.
mean we can actually praise him for his crisp delivery?
Oh!
You're going to stab me with your pipe, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Okie dokie.
I already stabbed Darren at work today with my pipe. Because I was there walking back, eating on my phone, working, and he jumped out and surprised me and scared the shit out of me.
Last week, if I remember rightly, I made a pun so bad. I remember what that pun was, by the way, TK.
Well, let's
The one that made you stab me hard enough with a pipe to leave bruises.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, crikey. I didn't think it was all that hard. You bruise easily.
It was during the VGHS episode when they used the magic plant spell to stop the yoga thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, it's a shame it only lasts 6 seconds.
And
It's
now,
made of vines!
and now we need to stab him again.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh. In fact,
TK's review of Vib Ribbon.
VGHS episode 2 should be out shortly, if it's not out already. So you can watch that after the show. But
It
yes,
is
Vib
about the
Ribbon.
4 beddings.
Vib Ribbon has now come out on the PlayStation Network, as I said. It's a PS1 classic. And for those of you who have not yet experienced the craziness that is Vibri, it is a rhythm action game made by the same producer who made Parappa the Rapper and Jamalami.
Those other addictive games with really addictive noises.
Indeed, but instead of being a rapping dog or a guitar-playing crazy lamb thing, you now play as a little bunny rabbit called Vibri. And
Yay.
she exists in a wireframe-ish world, bouncing along a line. And the line will go at the BPM of the music, roughly.
Roughly.
Until the game decides it wants to add in some challenge and will listen to your music and create an obstacle for you to overcome. Be it a block, a pit, a jaggedy spiky thing, or a loop-the-loop. And by pressing a corresponding button on the PlayStation controller, Vibri will navigate this obstacle with ease and carry on dancing along the line until the next obstacle.
Notice the deliberate lie there, with ease.
No, if you do it, she does get past it with ease if you press the button. That's the tricky bit, pressing of the button. Because these 4 simple shapes, the circle, the squiggly line, the pit, and the box...
Loop-de-loop.
I'm going to say the box in the street, I thought, one for a better term. They start to merge with each other. And so you get a box in the street that has a pit in it, requiring you to press both buttons. Or you get a jaggedy loop-the-loop, requiring you to press both buttons there. Or a loop on a box, requiring both button presses. And despite this very simplistic style and gameplay, the game gets very complicated very quickly, because the game reacts to your music. There are 6 tracks built in, there are 3 levels, 2 songs for each level, and it's basically easy, medium and hard, or bronze, silver and gold as the game calls them, and you navigate your way through the 2 songs to beat the level. Easy enough. You then get your high score at the end. But that's not where the main feature of this game comes in. The main feature comes in with being able to put your own audio CD into the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 3, in this case, console. This feature is not available, oddly enough, on the Vita and the PSP versions, due to the lack of a CD-ROM drive, but is there on the PlayStation 3 version, so you can burn your music to a disc if you've just got the MP3s laying around, because who has audio CDs anymore? And then play the game as it was meant to be played with your own music. You will quickly find that these simple shapes and 4 buttons become one of the hardest fucking games in the universe very suddenly.
God,
as
yeah.
this game will kick your ass. I made a compilation CD years and years and years ago, which I recently dug out, and we put that in the console and put it onto auto mode just to see how bad it would be. Some of the livelier, more aggressive tracks are actually reasonably simple, but some of the more simple, melodic, with some nice vocals, were nigh on impossible looking.
Anything with vocals got difficult.
Got very difficult very quickly. Oh, a cup of tea has arrived.
It is very much a high score playing game, and it's one that would benefit. I don't know if it has with online leaderboards and things, kind of
it's
like
a PS1
Amplitude.
game. The PS1 did not have online support.
Yeah.
So, no, there were no online leaderboards. However, the game was never released in America originally.
Nope.
So, this PSN release has been the first time America has had to play Vib Ribbon. And this was one of the few instances of a big corporation like Sony actually listening to their fans and releasing a game, as opposed to listening to the mass outpour of hate and changing their entire console strategy. Because when Sony had their E3 conference recently, well, I say recently, it was back in June, wasn't it? Vibri was shown briefly and a bit teased. The community went nuts.
Yeah, out of everything they could have got nuts for.
Yeah, they went absolutely out of their brain shit for this. And Sony went, oh, there appears to be a bit of demand for this. maybe we should think about releasing it. Like, I don't know, now. And it happened. So, well done, fans. We've managed to get Rib Ribbon, one of the games I thought would never come out on the PS1 Classics range because of the fact it needs an audio CD, and the emulator never used to interface with the audio, with the CD drive. We've actually managed to get down to break the emulator so it does, and release the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very proud of you, community. You've done a good thing. It's currently It's currently £3.19 if you have PlayStation Plus, or £3.99 if you don't. So It's well worth a quick purchase. And it is literally just a case of you play through the levels, you press the buttons, you die a lot. If you manage to do successfully 20 obstacles in a row, Vibri turns into a princess. If you fail a lot, Vibri turns into a frog. And then into a worm, who looks a bit like a sperm. And if you fail consistently after that, then it's game over and you have to start again.
Yeah.
On the in-game soundtrack, it's relatively easy. It's made by a band called Laugh and Peace, and it's designed to be kind of genreless in its delivery, because they didn't really want the game to be associated with one particular genre, because the idea is that you put your own music to the game, therefore it's whichever genre you want it to be. Yep. And the 3 levels with the 6 songs are basically like a training mode. And
we have featured them as part of our Audio Surf Challenge.
We have, and we've also featured them as part of our previous shows when we were somewhat less legal. Haha, back in those days. Actually quite nice to be legal. So it's lovely, and Laugh and Peace are a brilliant band as well. They fit the game quite perfectly. It's a very, very, very simplistic styling. It is literally like stickman drawing, running across a line that suddenly has obstacles. But get over that, and you'll have one of the most immersive music rhythm action gaming experiences that I've seen on any console for a long time. I mean,
which is good.
I mean, it's not as breath-taking thing as DDR. It's a one-player experience, so it's not going to be like a big party thing like Rock Band, so you won't need to buy any expensive peripherals or anything for it. And you don't need to download any new songs because you've got your entire music library at your fingertips. Just whack it on an audio CD and off you go. So that could be the only limiting factor. It could be the number of CDs you own or the number of blanks you own to make CDs with.
Well, it's nice that feature's on there because it gives it a bit more playability. So you enjoyed the game, yes?
It was pretty much a day one purchase when it came out on the PS1 originally. It was definitely a day one purchase when it came out on the PS3. The fans were then very annoyed in Europe because we couldn't download it to the Vita straight away. Something had broken, and it was like, nope, no downloading for you for this. So that's been fixed now, so I've got it on my Vita, hence why I was able to play some of the music just now. And yeah, if you haven't already got this game, it's cheap as chips. Go and get it, try it out. The worst you can do is not like it, and oh no, you've spent £4, what a disaster, the world is going to end. However, chances are, once you've got through the bronze, silver and gold levels, you will very quickly learn to love it. You will stick your own CD in, you will get your ass kicked, and you will want to try and find a song that you can actually pass.
Good luck with that.
Indeed.
TK declaring to the masses, you will buy this game, you will like it.
And you will get your ass kicked by it. These are 3 facts.
Absolutely. So that was Vib Ribbon. You can find that quite easily on the old PSN.
Yep, it's on the PlayStation Network, available for PS3, PS Vita, and PlayStation Portable. Yeah.
And one if you can find the CD.
Yeah, and one if you can find the CD.
Good luck on that. I have Borderlands the pre-sequel.
Yes, I know you have. I've seen you play it a lot this weekend while you were down here being social playing Borderlands.
Yep. I find it enjoyable to be able to play a game and be in the same room with you guys and still be social, because otherwise it's a case of, let's sit around the telly and talk.
Yeah.
How's your week been? It's alright. How's your week been? It's alright. What's on telly?
Fuck all.
Doctor Who. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got 2 episodes of Doctor Who really to talk about, because although I gave my rundown last week, you weren't here.
I know I wasn't. But anyway, Borderlands the pre-sequel. This is the middle game of Borderlands, slotting in between the chaos of Borderlands 1 and the chaos of Borderlands 2. The plot of this is that you are being hired by Handsome Jack, the big villain of Borderlands 2, to help find a vault on the moon, which is Elpis. So you head up to a space station. The station gets ambushed / invaded by these people from Dahl, and you go through some very crazy ass missions with some very crazy ass characters and learn a bit more about how things transitioned from 1 to 2, because there is a reasonable big gap that we're aware stuff's happened, but we don't know what it is. And this fills it, in my opinion, quite nicely. The new Vault Hunters, you've got a choice of 4. Wilhelm, who was a bad guy in the first one. Nisha, who was a bad guy in second one.
Bad guy.
What?
An underwhelming bad guy.
Yes, depending on whether or not you were geared for him.
Oh no,
Although
I wasn't. I didn't even have Tiny Tina's teapot, and he was still the most underwhelming boss fight in the game for me.
You must have played it later, because I had no actual weaponry to help me on that fight at all, and it was a bitch.
Ooh.
Yeah, but there was an AMA from Handsome Jack who made comment about that fight. And he made reference to the fact that he'd actually poisoned them, and that was a line that they'd taken out of the game, hence explaining how it was so easy.
Ah.
So
yeah, because I had a harder time with most of the hordes of robots than with Wilhelm the Enforcer.
when I replayed him, he was easier, but the first time I encountered him, fuck hell. But yeah, you plays him. You play as Nisha, who is the girlfriend / sheriff in the second
wife.
game.
I think she's actually the wife of Handsome Jack in Borderlands 2.
Girlfriend / squeeze.
Oh, they're actually married by the time Borderlands 2 came around. That's why he let her be the sheriff of
Fight.
It's a story that is referenced briefly, so
yeah.
either of us could be correct. You also play as Athena, who was a DLC character from Borderlands 1, but not playable. And you play as Claptrap.
Enough said.
Right.
It's fun. It is fun. Each character has their own script as you go through, so you don't have the silence of Borderlands 1 and 2 of your particular character not saying anything to any of the people you meet, because you don't.
Well,
you now have a response to the script, as it were.
Ooh. Oh, not even that. It's occasionally your character would have idle dialogue, or very occasionally say something about a situation, or a killing one-liner.
Yeah.
And what is in the gameplay, not only is there a lot of interaction between quest givers and everything else, and idle talk, they'll also talk amongst themselves.
Or amongst their minions, if you're Claptrap.
Yeah.
So it's one of those games that has a lot more added extras. It does include the low gravity stuff, which surprisingly is fun. I thought it would be a bit sketchy, but I enjoyed being able to bounce around and take guys out as I'm flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Some of the vacuum features are a bit of a trick to get around because it's a vacuum. You can't set people on fire.
I actually had a talk with some of the mechanics. They're sort of going, the whole oxygen management thing is sort of against everything with Borderlands because you're limited in time. You can't go explore to try to find hidden chests. I was like, yeah, but you have moon bounties.
There really isn't a limitation on it. I mean, if you really, really don't like the oxygen, play as Claptrap. He doesn't breathe. But you can find oxygen so easily. The Oz kits are huge at times, so you don't have to worry. And you don't die that quickly at all from oxygen loss. So it's there as an extra thing that makes it interesting at times and can push you if you're not paying attention, but it's not a game breaker. The story mission, in terms of the main story, this really, I enjoy this because Handsome Jack was the best villain I've encountered since GLaDOS. And Shodan. He's great, and having him as like this...
He is very much a charismatic antagonist.
But in this...
How would he rank on the Hades scale? From
the Hades?
Disney's Hercules.
He actually ranks equal to, possibly above Hades.
Oh, interesting.
They could sit in a bar and have a conversation easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
But in the pre-sequel, you encounter Jack when he's kind of megalomaniacal in the same sense as...
You mean megalomaniacal?
Yeah, in the same sense of combining Pinky and Brain. It's a case of, you want to take over the world, but you're kind of inept, so that's cute. That kind of thing.
Well, think about it. Brain, in every time he failed, was pretty much the engineer of his own destruction. It would have mattered not had Pinky been there. It was all Brain overcomplicating matters and became his undoing, of which he would always blame Pinky. But it was very rarely ever Pinky's fault.
It does feel like that when you're playing through, because Handsome Jack's plans are already in motion, but it's constantly trying to adapt to the chaos that's surrounding the entire situation. There are events in the game that occur to him that make him a much darker character and have made me question
Yeah, because he starts off...
the good, bad of the characters in Borderlands 2.
Just to
really?
put it across, his character at the core is the bad guy, the well-intentioned extremist.
Yeah, he sees
He
himself
is-
as a hero.
Except
That's part of
he's
his
also
fundamentals.
fairly sociopathic, in which he sees himself as the hero. He's bringing law and order. Lorder!
One does not simply walk into Lorda. So basically,
Super
he's,
dope, but,
he's a typical feminist Tumblr blogger.
But at the same time, he's also pretty sociopathic in that he outright shoots one of the main quest givers from Borderlands 1 in the face for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
And laughs about it.
Yeah, so typical Tumblr blogger.
But this is a gradual development, because he doesn't do that to start with. He actually gives a shit. I mean, within the first mission run, where it does a chunk of info dump on you without being wordy, he gives a shit about the fact that the station is filled with innocent workers who could potentially be all killed. He's liberated by the rush of combat. He's not had experience. And he is a little bit of a coward when suddenly he encounters the fucking Guardian that suddenly makes an appearance within the first 10 minutes.
Quick question.
Yes.
Did they make the age-old, innocent contractors on the Death Star puns?
No.
Aww.
He actually gives a shit, and it's this progression of incidents that occur because of people who you aren't you're not the person causing these incidents. It's the people that you know and love that are causing the incidents that erode him quite badly. And the final bit where is kind of a slap in the face for him on why he becomes the way he is, but it is a fun story to go through. And this is just the basic story on the normal mode where you're running through it. I've only just started on the second playthrough, where we then have Tiny Tina joining in on narrating the story.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Alex told me about that. It's Tiny Tina trying to correct somebody else's story of what's going on.
Well, think
that made me
unreliable
wonder-
narrator, but with someone who actually goes, well, your story's boring. Let's have dragons.
What happened to the little... What happened to the little kid from that Marcus was always telling the stories to originally?
I don't know. I've
Remember
not
that
seen
one?
him.
From the Under Zombie Ned, he started off the story with that, and it's like at the end of the story, he goes, "You're adopted."
Well, he was like the audience that he was telling the stories, because he made appearances in some of the DLC.
Yeah.
For like more stories, because the idea of Borderlands 1 was Marcus was telling the story to the kid, and you were the character playing through it. Borderlands 2, kind of telling a story to a larger audience and opening up the universe.
I
The
sort of assumed that
pre-sequel,
Marcus was still telling the story to that kid, because because he was still going. So you want to hear a story, do you?
yeah, kind of. But the pre-sequel is more filling in the gap and having Athena narrate the reasons behind why she was working with Handsome Jack, and you've got the combination of Athena, Handsome Jack, and your own exploits as one of the new Vault Hunters.
I was actually
Going through
surprised that it was the Dole Corporation that was the bad guy.
Well, it's nice to see them back, because they disappeared.
No. That's why I was surprised. Dole Corporation is still around. They make all the burst fire weapons, military-themed ones.
But they
Atlas
pretty
who
much disappeared, because in 2 it was Maliwan and... not Maliwan,
No.
Hyperion
Dole
and
was still
Handsome Jack.
there in Borderlands 2. It was Atlas that disappeared.
That's
why I was surprised the bad guys
Atlas
were
was
Dull.
destroyed, but Dull kind of disappeared, because originally they also had a big thing on the moon, if you remember the plot line.
I thought you meant Dole Corporation's original mining efforts were the ones that disappeared. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, Dull kind of disappeared off of Pandora, and
Basically,
Atlas vanished.
As soon as the planet woke up from its massive hibernation thing and all the wildlife started, they went, "Oh fuck, leave the convicts here."
Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that goes, and it does fill in. I mean, even the side quests fill in lots of little bits and pieces if you want to dig into it, because there's so many Easter eggs in this still. and it's something that you can invest time in and suddenly be surprised. Because whilst I was round the weekend, I ended up finding a 2001 homage, which I so wish I recorded.
Did you find the the
Excalibastard.
Yes. Yeah.
I've not yet found it. I don't want to get that too soon because apparently that's a one-off weapon that you find unless you twig around with your
it's
saves.
once per character, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, unless you twig around with your saves.
But you need about 1,500 badass to get it anyway.
2005.
2005? I've seen some people that said I said at 2005 and got it, but they were pretty sure they managed to get it lower.
Wow.
With
This
the
is the
save
thing. There's
editor.
so much to dig through. There are some annoyances though, because even for a fan, there are some little niggles. You can suddenly insta-death for no reason in some places. I don't know why. The vehicles are okay, but they don't do jumps. Not the first 2 or 3 times.
And
And
again, this is the Borderlands 2 engine that they've had to hack apart to put these things in. So I'm not surprised there's some bugs regarding new features.
oh yeah, and they're doing hot fixes already, but these are like little niggles. There are some extra new features in terms of how you get weapons. The loot system's been adjusted, and people are being a bit, it's so easy to get stuff. We want to grind, and it's like, to be
No.
honest, I just want to play the game and
That's
unlock
what's-
stuff.
Killing Destiny for a lot of people at the moment is the grinding.
Yeah, and there are people who are sat there going, but we want to do the same boss over and over again and feel like we've earned our loot, and it's like, no.
No.
But there are some nice features in there. Like I said, I've only done one complete playthrough. I'll probably chuck some footage and stuff up onto the gaming channel because this is a game series that I've enjoyed, and this is something that I really enjoy. You may not like all of the nuances because there is a bit of an Australian tint to the first third of the game. So if you're someone who doesn't know and understand like Paul Hogan humour, the Aussie humour from Monty Python, seen any Home and Away in the early days, you may find it great on you. But I enjoyed it because it's like Australian reference that I get,
So
Australian reference that I get, Australian
we-
reference that I get. It's great fun.
We should get all of the members of TigerTails together and do an all claptrap party, right?
Well, I'm still at that point where I'm thinking I just need to buy this game for you so you can play it as well.
I am getting round to getting. I've got to get the laptop fixed first.
Good point.
Because
the
even though my
screen.
PC is more powerful, I tend to game more on the laptop.
Yeah, at the moment I game on my laptop because that's the only thing that runs.
Yeah. But
But
you know,
in
so-
terms of review, I've enjoyed this game immensely. If you're a fan of Borderlands 1 or 2, play the game, get the game. It is well worth the purchase. If you're not and you're looking to jump in, it's no harm. I mean, it's a 20-odd quid game. You're going to get a good chunk of hours out of it. I think I've managed to hit 40-odd hours over the course of Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
wow.
I think that's what my Steam account said.
Have you noticed that Claptrap himself is actually a perfect metaphor for the entire Borderlands games in general?
Full of irrelevant quotes, and generally people want to punch him in the face.
Oh no, people tend to love or hate Borderlands.
And
very few
Claptrap.
being met. And Claptrap, because Claptrap is himself a metaphor for the Borderlands games in general. He's very self-referential. He makes bad puns, toilet humor. But then he has these sudden moments of where the humor turns a bit dark and you get a lot of pathos from him.
Yeah,
Which is the
this is
overall tone
a
of the
dark
games
thing.
themselves.
If you strip any of the humour out of the pre-sequel, it's so dark.
That's why they need the humor.
Yeah.
Like I said, there are times
But,
when even the humor.
yeah, I've
deliberately
played
fails.
25
It's
hours and done a complete run through so far.
Not bad. How many run-throughs can you do?
You can play the game story on normal mode and then True Vault Hunter mode, which is the extra bit.
Yeah.
So 2 per character, effectively. So
8 run-throughs
8,
to get
yeah.
all the content kind of delivered to your face.
yeah, and that's if you do all 4 characters. You could do 4 characters of the same character and then another 4. You could do it infinitely if you really wanted to,
Oh, yeah.
to redo the story.
But as in terms of getting all of the story down, you need to go at least 8 run-throughs to get the full story.
To do everything and find everything, yeah,
Um,
probably.
The story is pretty much the same no matter who you play as. It's only their flavor text in certain situations that's going to change.
Oh, okay.
So, unless you're the kind of completionist who must hear every single piece of,
Of dialogue.
Yeah.
Some of it is worth it, some of it isn't, because it is slightly scripted for Athena being the main character running through.
Okay.
But it's certainly well worth playing through as all the characters, especially if you can do multiplayer, because it's the interactions between not only you as players, but also
The characters.
your
There you
characters.
go, I've got the perfect. TK, basically, playing through the extra characters is the equivalent of buying more Magic the Gathering cards to read the flavor text.
Ah, fair enough. Sad but true.
But anyway, that's done and dusted, so we need to move on unless Felix has something.
No.
No,
By all means.
TV talk.
TV talk. So, what's Pete just caught up with?
Doctor Who.
That's right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No, I'm kidding. It's Doctor Who. No, it's Doctor Who. So, last week we had the Orient Express, and this week we've had the one that came after the Orient Express, which again was slightly train related in a way, because it was now set on
In a Bristol train depot with the
Yeah.
2D monsters.
the 2D monsters who wanted to become 3D and were nomming all the dimensional energy in the world, and of course the TARDIS to shrink, which I thought was hilarious because they haven't
I enjoyed that, yeah.
they haven't pissed around with the chameleon circuit for quite a long time, so it was quite nice to see them actually do something with it for once.
And it also took the Doctor out of the episode.
Again,
Yeah, admittedly again, but in an interesting way, because he was still there,
He was
but
stuck
he
inside the
wasn't
TARDIS.
the guy waving his quotation around kind of thing.
yeah, he was stuck. Clara had to be the Doctor, and
Literally.
she got to basically live a day in the Doctor's life, as she had to then do everything needed to get people to do what was needed to win the day, which is the Doctor's remit normally is. And she found out just how tricky it actually is. And I think the Doctor's line near the end actually summed up everything quite nicely as to how he lives. When she was going, "You got to admit, I made a very good Doctor," and she says, "See, wasn't I good? Wasn't I good?" And he turns around and says, "Clara, you were an excellent Doctor. Goodness didn't come into it." And I was like, "Oh, well, that just says everything." It's like, yeah,
Well, yeah.
you don't have to be the good guy to be a good Doctor. You just have to be a good Doctor.
It actually does forge, I think, this episode has forged more character between the two of them than all of the previous episodes, because it really underlines the fact that Clara enjoys the adventure, but is understanding this current incarnation of the Doctor on a more personal level.
Yeah. And it's very much now the case of she's slowly learning to figure out that he doesn't know if he's the good guy. He just knows that he's the guy who has to make the impossible decision all the time.
Apparently, that's Moffat's thing of the moment, isn't it?
Yep.
I must make things darker, like the next Sherlock series.
Well, it's darker, but it's more the fact that there's been a bit more characterization of what's going on, because previous ones it's been darkness for darkness sake, like the one on the moon where the Doctor basically went, nah, fuck it.
Which one on the
It-
moon?
The one where it was the moon and
Can't
the egg
remember
and the
something.
alien thing, and they said you got to kill it with fire.
The one before the Orient Express.
Mm.
Oh, this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, because I still haven't worked up the motivation to keep watching this season.
I find it more enjoyable than the last season.
Again, if it is Moffat actually playing to his strengths again, which is, the intimate
Well,
story
in
and
all fairness,
character relations.
The last two have been very good episodes, and Moffat's name wasn't in the writing credits, which I think explains a lot. It seems it goes downhill a lot when Moffat's name appears as
And
one of the
has
co-writers.
Nanny McPhee shown up again?
Not that I've seen. Oh, yes, actually she did at the end of this episode. Briefly.
Yeah.
Very briefly. So it's a case of, yeah, okay, we're still on this course.
Well, at least she's
Whatever
not
it is.
entirely a giant space flea from nowhere.
Not yet. Anything is still
Not yet.
possible. We've still got a few
is-
episodes left.
She is now at least a better villain than Necron.
There is also the bizarre this thing with this Gus one that they randomly introduced on the train, where it was
Orient
like
Express one, yeah.
clearly this is someone who wanted to get the Doctor involved in stuff.
I had a huge argument with Eunice Jet on Steam Chat about that episode. It was going... Because I'd moaned on Facebook about the train and the fact that
Yeah.
the locomotive they used was not typical of the locomotive that would be pulling the Orient Express.
Yes.
And he tried to give me reasons to why it doesn't really matter because it's in space. And I was giving him very good counter reasons, which he couldn't argue. about why no, it's still wrong.
Didn't he make the game Train in Space or something like that?
No, that was Dante the Jedi.
Oh, it was
That
Dante.
was Astra
Okay.
Loco, which was brilliant. And we've actually done a review on that for Dun and
One
Dusted.
of Dante's many.
I need to actually get
Kingdom
Dun and
games.
Dusted back up and running because that's the next blog. That's the next TigerTails site. I
Yes,
need to upload.
please.
Yeah, okay, I'm busy. Okay, I still haven't fucking done the update for TigerTails Radio for last week yet. So yeah, fuck off. Dun and Dusted will come soon. I don't know.
I
when.
will say these 2 episodes have been the best of the season.
They've certainly been more enjoyable than some of the other ones. Clara has actually started to come out as a character at last, as opposed to being an irrelevant plot point.
Yep.
Which has been nice. She's no longer just the impossible girl. That's the whole plot this series. Now it's a case
And the
of...
Doctor isn't just angry Scotsman shouting.
No. See, when it's not Moffat, it calms down. It actually it gets sensible.
Yeah.
I think it's just Moffat that comes in and ruins everything. Which is annoying, because he can write some wonderful Sherlock.
You
With him and
remember-
Mark Gatiss.
So, you remember last week when I was trying to remember which Agatha Christie novel it was where the murderer was the narrator all along?
Hmm.
It was the murder of Roger Ackroyd.
Spoilers.
Which was
How
actually
old?
a Hercule Poirot story.
Ah, right.
But it was, yeah. I could talk about
Poirot.
how that's a masterful use of an unreliable narrator, but let's continue, please.
Well, I mean, there's not much else left to say. I mean, these were very solid and very good episodes. They were well paced, so the tension was being built up quite nicely in both of them. And the
then rewarded.
resolution, whilst it was the Doctor does wave his wand and figure everything out, you felt that it wasn't just because he did that the story got to that conclusion. There was
especially-
Clara getting involved and other things happening.
Especially this time, for this episode that's just gone. It was very much Clara was the one moving all the chess pieces into position so the Doctor could then deliver the final checkmate. And, I mean, especially with how she managed to get the TARDIS out of breach mode.
Siege mode.
Siege mode, that was it. Which I thought, okay, that was some nice logical thinking. It made a lot of sense. Well done, Clara. Although, for the way she was
Absolutely.
running around for the episode going, oh yes, I'm the Doctor now. I just really go, oh, just shut up, you cockeyed wench. Jesus Christ. Oh, she annoyed me a bit. But it was nice that she annoyed me because that was character. It was something she hasn't had for so long. And then she was displaying it and annoying me with it. And I wasn't too upset about being annoyed by it because the fact I was annoyed was a good thing.
Yep.
And so she can continue annoying me as much as she likes because it actually means she's being written well. And so more power to her for that.
Although we'll have to see how that continues because we're going to be getting close to when they're going to want to start the build-up for the end season and the Christmas special, aren't they?
And then Moffat's going to get more heavily involved and it's all going to go to shit again.
Yeah.
No.
But that's-
Someone take Moffat away from Doctor Who. Just let him be in control of the overarching plot, not actually individual episodes.
But that's Doctor Who, so hopefully things will improve going forward, but we're crossing our fingers. What I do want to talk about before we wrap up completely is The Flash.
Flash. Boom. Ah. Copyrighted music for the winners now.
Because I've seen episode 1 and episode 2 now.
I don't think we should make such a big deal of him, you know. I mean, he is just a man. With a man's courage.
Is he a Ninja Turtle? No.
Have you seen this, Felix?
No, I've been meaning to. Because I've actually heard some really good things about the first few episodes.
Yeah, well, I've seen both the first few episodes. It feels a little bit hurried as you go through episode 1. Because they are trying to establish very quickly who Barry Allen is, what his power is, what his relationships with everyone around are, and the fact that metahumans now exist in the TV DC world. Because we now live in a world where Arrow and the Flash and the events of those coexist.
They really do need to come up with a nice little initialism for us. You know, like we have the DCAU to separate it from the comics continuities. We need something for TV versions as well.
Hopefully, but then it
DCTV.
depends on how well this goes, because the first episode introduces you to Barry Allen,
Hang on,
who...
just to go back to Felix's point about the initialisms. Aren't the ones in the TV shows, though, supposed to be also continuing with the continuities for the forthcoming DC movies as well?
No.
So that they can
no.
do an Avengers and just tie it all in together?
No, Avengers
No.
is Marvel.
I know, but I say do an Avengers, as in do what Marvel were doing and just basically tie all the universes in?
No, that's not their plan because they've got some
Other plan.
characters and continuities that they can't really cross over that easily. So they're going to keep the TV series as separate continuities to the movies.
Because that ain't going to get confusing.
Well, I mean,
otherwise
it's worked so far.
Although when I watched the Marvel stuff, that was one of the things that actually did impress me, that they were able to combine all the elements into one continuity.
Oh, it's great at the moment with Marvel because what they seem to be doing is they also merging continuity with the different TV series as well. So we've had the movies and all of the different movies merging continuities with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But the current storyline of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., especially seeing as they have a break-off mid-season to introduce the new Agent Carter series, looks like that storyline is actually merging with the the plot arc in the past for Agent Carter.
And also may include events that could tie into what's going on with Daredevil. So that's the Marvel stuff. It's going to be interesting to see, but for now we've got the fact that there is a TV series that exists within a TV DC universe.
One thing
they are introducing the concept of the metahuman and the Flash to his city, and this idea that this big event released all these theoretical particles that have changed people.
You know, like Kryptonite changed everybody on Earth in the original Superman canons.
Kind of, but in the best comparison I've got is Superman. You have the meteorites that gave all the meteorite things in Smallville.
It turned out that Kryptonite gave some people powers, and it was deadly radiation to others.
Yeah, but within this, it's now a massive event that has gone across the entirety of the city and released this energy that has affected people.
For further reference and examples, see TV Tropes page Mass Empowering Event.
Yeah. But effectively, we have a lightning bolt that strikes Barry Allen that turns him into the Flash. So he is now the fastest man alive. But at the moment...
It strikes him and not his lab?
It strikes him.
Oh, because the original thing was it struck his lab, and that's what cooked the components that accidentally turned him into the Flash.
Yeah, that's in the comic book.
Which was the great thing. Did you see...
Retcon.
Did you see the animated version of Flashpoint Paradox?
No.
Watch it. I think it's just called Flashpoint, but you've got alternate Batman trying to help him regain his powers as the Flash. In a DC animated special, you get to see Barry Allen struck with lightning and his charred skin over and over again.
Ow.
Yeah, it's more violent and bloody than the comic book was, Flashpoint. I'll say that.
Well, I think this is more to the point of it being a theoretical particle hitting him. So the idea of, I think, potentially the speed force of the DC universe being embodied in him. So he gets all of the aspects of speed. He also gets a higher metabolism. He can see things going in slower motion because effectively he can just move faster than everything else.
There's a wonderfully slow song called the Ballad of Barry Allen, in which the whole song is basically about how he's depressed because nothing moves. You know, when bullets are going and people could die in any instant, it's almost fast enough for him to give a shit. It makes him out to be one of the loneliest superheroes out there. It's a really nice song.
But I mean, this is starting from his progression right at the beginning, and it does feel a little bit in the episodes as, yeah, I'm going to be hero. No, I quit because it's too hard. Yeah, I'm going to be hero. No, I quit because it's too hard. It's a little bit hot and cold on the character.
He's a less whiny Peter Parker.
Oh, Christ.
But he's got a better supporting cast, though, because he has a mysterious benefactor scientist who potentially could be from the future, but we don't know.
Okay.
We have sexy scientist lass.
Oh, damn, thanks.
He won't pay any attention.
Sorry, we're losing you, Pete.
Good. But
say that again. We lost you.
What?
Right, take it from sexy scientist lass.
Sexy scientist lass.
Yeah, take
everything
it
after that.
Okay, so sexy scientist lass, who undoubtedly has the hots for Barry, but won't be a thing.
Okay.
Oh wait, is this Felicity or another one?
This is the sexy scientist lass who's part of the party. He also has the black chick who's a reporter, because they always are. Who he has the hots for.
Reporters. That's
Not
why,
quite.
sis.
It's more the fact that its girlfriend of superhero is a reporter, or the
Yeah.
girl who he wants to be girlfriend, because she doesn't see him as boyfriend. She's actually dating somebody else. And then we have the black cop father figure who's taken over looking after Barry.
Is this the
So that-
same actor playing the Flash that we saw in Arrow?
Yes.
So are they actually going to be bringing Felicity Smoke into it? Because there was the thing where she had the hots for it, and
Don't know. They've already talked about potentially being more crossovers,
I
which
know
is
they've talked about him having the accident and recovering, and she's been out to visit him once or twice. So technically, this is behind the continuity of Arrow right now.
possibly. It depends, because I don't know where it is in the seasons, because he has the accident, goes into the coma, and then runs into Oliver Queen, and it's like, oh, he's my friend chat conversation, and it's like, how do you know Oliver Queen? I don't get that yet. Never mind.
He
I mean-
showed up before he had the accident as he was tracking some strange crimes on his own time. From
That makes sense, because
the other city.
he is a criminal.
Yeah, he was
CSI guy.
He was very early season 2. Then midway through season 2 is when they start referencing his accident and coma.
Ah, right. So
Or the end of
okay, I'll
season
be
one,
catching
it
up
might
to that
be.
when I eventually get around to seeing it.
But
First two
basically,
episodes, the annoying thing is the pacing. I think it's a little bit quick because it's trying to get so much across, and it does suffer from enemy of the week gets killed.
Yeah. The Monster of the Week episodes.
Yeah, but
Which can
it's
do well
minor
if
bit
you're-
part things that I know exist in the DC world that are getting killed off, which I always found annoyed when it started happening in Shield and in Arrow.
That's right, because sometimes you need the Monster of the Week thing for the cast to get their feet. Yeah, for everything to mesh. It's
Basically, to cement the characters.
Yeah.
it gives everybody time to find the on-set chemistry and the way the storyline works best, and without having to worry about fucking up an overarching plot.
Well, hopefully, because the overarching plot has already been clearly established with the fact that there's this scientist figure who potentially could be from the future, who Alex is
Oh, what's his
clear is
name?
Professor Zoom, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't honestly think so.
You know what's gonna be
Although
really
for Alex it's
refreshing?
Nega Flash, and it's like, it's not Nega Flash, it's a reverse Flash. For fuck's sake, get your comics right.
You know what's going to be really refreshing in the next year or so?
Showers.
No. You know there's a Doctor Strange movie coming out.
Yes.
It's not an origin story. It will just be Strange is already the fucking Sorcerer Supreme. They're just going to gloss over everything and get you straight into the fun bits.
If they do it like they did when they did the remake of the Hulk or the Incredible Hulk movie, I think that would be fantastic. So by the time the credits are finished, the montage is over, get on with the film.
We're still due a Ruffalo Hulk movie. I think that would forgive them for the sins of Norton and the other guy.
Well, we'll see. But that's the Flash so far. I'm going to try and keep up on it, but I've got a shed ton that I'm still watching.
You've got to
so
catch up on S.H.I.E.L.D. so we can actually talk
talk
S.H.I.E.L.D.
about it.
I love the way he's more caught up on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles than he is on S.H.I.E.L.D.
And even Alex is
This
about
the
caught up.
entirety of season 2, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but you've been keeping up with Season 3 quite successfely.
Yeah, because I watch it when I'm with you.
Exactly, and you don't really miss much of plot in Season 2, so it's all good. You miss
Remember,
the introduction
Pete,
of Casey Jones and some spoilers about April, which I won't go into in case people are actually interested enough.
Yes.
Remember, Pete, there may be a mid-season break, but that's only to start introducing the Agent of Carter series, Agent Carter series.
Well, I'll be catching up with that, but then I've still got The Mentalist season 5 to finish. I've still got Person of Interest to finish. I've still got Arrow season 2 to start watching.
My God, even
Properly.
I finished that.
Notice he says to start watching, not to finish.
I'd start watching properly, which means he's
Well,
caught a couple.
I've seen episode 1.
Oh yeah, because we used to talk about Arrow, and then we talked about episode 1, and then the next few weeks you're like, I haven't seen it. Shut the fuck up, dude. Because Pete says dude now, apparently.
Werewolfie says Gotham is very cool. So I know
I'm
that
still called it
people,
Gotham.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know if I can watch a thing about Batman when Batman isn't in it.
Well, it's not about Batman. That's why it's called Gotham, as opposed to Batman. The clue's in the title, Pete.
I know, but it's like it's like not Batman.
I would have really loved to have seen a TV series that was like the animated series Batman. That Gotham with a young Jim Gordon would have been fucking amazing with the art style and the tone that it all had.
But I think we need to wrap up there because it's just gone past 10 o'clock.
We've now filled up our 5-minute deficit.
Yeah, which we had because preparation.
Yes.
And totally not about smoke breaks.
Preparation nicotine.
Preparation H. It feels good.
But that was episode 31.
As you can see from the YouTube thing.
It
does not lie.
God, we've got 21 episodes left.
Have we? Yeah, we have. Oh, shit. Well, kids, time flies when you're having fun. Or something.
Something.
It's
something.
been Stockholm Syndrome is set in. I love you guys.
Well, I love you too. You're my best friend. Or something.
Well, I think now is a round of good nights myself.
Really? You believe that, do you? You don't believe you could be fooled into thinking that I'm totally not buying time to get everything ready to do the good nights then?
That's what you always
that'd be
do,
silly. You're far too professional to have to do such a thing.
Well, actually, this week I was. I actually preferred it while you were talking about the DC thing I wasn't interested in. Check me out to my efficiency.
You have ruined perfectly good sarcasm, sir.
Not only that, but I've done the
my
update.
pinky.
I've done the update for this week's show, and I've done most of the website for last week's show as well.
Bloody
I've been
hell.
productive.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm the person who's saying it's a good night from the Xavier.
Good night.
It's a good night from the Felis.
Good night.
And it's a good night from myself, TK the Wolf, because reasons. Until next week, when we may have an Angel Dark song returning to us. We may not. There might also be a Hedgie if he's not working. Who knows?
Yeah.
And there should be a Xavier, should there?
Yes, there'll be a Xavier.
And there should be a Felis. And there should be a me as well, otherwise who's going to press all the buttons?
Not us.
Nope, not them.
I can do the buttons.
You can do most of the buttons, I must admit. I'll trust
I
you.
probably can, if you just tell me which one's actually connected to what.
Yeah, one day I'll actually draw up a schematic and give some instruction manuals and stuff.
So, 2 years from now then?
Yeah, probably.
He's used up all of his getting ready shit.
Yeah, during the next time we have to tear down the studio to move everything again, that's probably when I'll do it. But until
I
then...
should look into setting up something we can use with the Yetis.
Yeah.
Plural. Alex hasn't really used his, so I'll bring it here for you.
I mean, that's going to be interesting, because the fucking radii on that is huge. So having two Yetis too close to each other will cause no end of problems.
Yes, I managed to cause a feedback just with Alex's webcam microphone and my Yeti.
Oh, well done.
Imagine what I could do with both.
Please don't.
David, what are you going to do with two Yeti microphones?
Blow speakers.
So on that note, it's night-night, everybody. Night-night.